everybody, and welcome to the Grapevine. It's me, Lynnda, and here with me is my co-host, Nami.
Hello.
And today we have a guest with us. It's Stardust. Say hello, Stardust.
Hey, everybody.
So today we're going to be talking about a couple of things, mainly our follow-ups to BlizzCon. Sadly, my Overwatch VR did not come true. I'm very sad.
I mean, what did you expect?
I expected Overwatch VR on mobile. I want to be able to play Overwatch in the break room at work and yell about having to pee on people.
Let's be real, you did not actually believe that would be a thing, though.
No, I didn't, but I want it to be. Maybe in like 20 years when they're like, Overwatch Classic in VR.
Never let your dreams be memes, you know, Linda? You can
I mean, we have Overwatch 2 now, so maybe like Overwatch VR is the next step, you know?
I don't even own a VR headset. I just love the idea of it, even though it's hideously expensive to get into.
Yeah. Like my boyfriend's brother has what's it called? Like an Oculus, it's not the Rift, it's like a portable one. And like we're playing with it for a while last time he was home, and it's pretty fun.
I played the like little one you can get on your phone. And it was a game where, like, I think you were walking around a room and there was a giant spider. And it's like, if you're playing that on just, like, a regular-ass computer, it would look terrible in, like, a really bad jump scare game. But because it was VR, I, like, had to put the phone down because I was like, no, I can't do this. God. No. But anywho, we're here today to talk with Stardust about all things DB, Overwatch, BlizzCon, and Pugs, because she is the Pug Master.
Oh yeah, I love my pugs, not gonna lie. And I'm excited to talk about that stuff with you guys.
Yay. So Stardust, sorry, I can't talk today. I've had 3 cups of coffee today. I'm just that pumped.
And it's only like 4 p.m.
I know. Usually I only have 1, maybe 2. I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight, but it's fine. Who needs sleep when you have podcasting to do?
Right.
So Stardust, just to start off, when and why did you join DB? You know, how'd you hear about it? This is something we like to ask all of our guests.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think I have been in DB for probably about 2.5 years now. I actually found out about it because one of our admins, Amna, she was a coach for a team that I had joined just kind of on a whim. It's through a organization called Scrub Cup. She was our fearless leader at the time. Like, we were complete strangers, but we spent almost 6 months together, multiple times a week. And after Scrub Cup ended, we won, by the way. Unlucky 13 forever. She approached me and one of my other teammates, Kikoya, and she was like, hey guys, I have an all-female Overwatch group if you're interested. And I'll be honest, I didn't apply right away, but I scoped out the website, I talked to her more about it, and then I applied, and the rest is history. I was actually named Vanessa when I joined, which is my real name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I changed it to Stardust about 2 weeks after, and it's just kind of stuck.
I somehow did not know that, and I have been thinking here, like, what a cool online handle that you've probably had for like 10 years.
No, I've definitely changed over the years. I started out as Calypso. When I first, Discord was actually, that was the first time I'd ever used it, was Scrub Cup. So I didn't even know you could find groups, and Amna told me all about it, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's such an untapped resource on my behalf. And I joined DBF, and I've just been, stuck with this wanting to make a big network of people ever since then, and now I love it.
I thought you're gonna say like I'm now stuck with like all those people from DB.
No, I'm just stuck with
these
Amna.
Crazy ladies.
But yeah, I really love being part of DB. I've told a lot of people about it. I've been happy to see it grow, make new friends, and it's something that I believe in very strongly, and so I've been very happy and proud to be able to spread the word and help out.
Mm-hmm. I wish you could see me, because right now I'm doing like chin hands, like smiling, like
Well, another little known fact for some of you, Lynnda and I are actually on Team Eris together. So
yay,
we have definitely gotten to know each other and become very close over the last about year.
Like every episode so far, we've had someone from either my team or Lynnda's team.
You know what? It's perfect and great, and we're gonna end up having every single member of both our teams be a guest at some point.
Probably, yeah.
That is my life's mission now with this podcast.
Absolutely.
Because I already got Eterna and Siren from my team, and we got
Stardust Demi and Amna in the first episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Demi, our fearless leader of Eris.
That was a wild ride, that episode. Mm-hmm. I think like my eyes almost fell out of my skull because I was just so hype. I don't know if that's a medical condition I should get looked into, but it's fine.
I mean, it was the first episode.
Yeah, I can imagine how much, fun you guys must have had talking. They're both wonderful. They're honestly, the best people that we could have for admins. So I'm glad that they were able to sit here and talk and tell more about themselves. I think a lot of people may be afraid to approach them, but they're both very friendly and kind and silly, and I love them.
Amna's like the nicest person in the world, and I'd kill a man for her.
No, she's like super scary. That's why she puts like smiley faces. Because otherwise people are too scared.
Oh, so speaking of DB, since it is, I was wondering what your thoughts are on about ladies only gaming spaces. This is a topic that's come up a lot in these episodes, talking about women's experience in gaming and what it means to have like women / ladies / female oriented gaming spaces for people. What are your thoughts on that?
So truthfully, I understand that it is something that is not really addressed as often as it needs to be. I was not one of the many people, like, for example, I know Demi has been playing games, in male mainly dominated game spaces pretty much, her whole life. I know we've talked about that, her and I, directly before. I didn't start gaming. I'm 32. I didn't start gaming until I was 20. So it wasn't something that growing up I realized was a problem. Not because I didn't think video games were for girls, but just because like I was a book nerd. I just wanted to be reading. But when I started gaming, my first game was World of Warcraft, and I joined a guild, and I was great in my guild. I was a healer, and that's when I first came across the stereotype of, oh, you're a girl, so you heal.
Oh,
and
that's so true, though.
Yeah, and I was just like, no, I heal because my druid's a badass, and I can out-heal you, so take that. And as that kind of evolved and I became more competitive, I did realize that it was a space where many times I wasn't heard or my opinion wasn't wanted. And that was hard for me because I am a very helpful person. If somebody's like, hey, I need help with this, I'm there to help them. But for me, it was like, actually, we'll take John instead. And I'm like, really? But I'm available right now. And it just became this thing where I noticed I was shut out more often than I was appreciated. I didn't really deal with a lot of toxicity until Overwatch, which is sad in my heart because I really loved the game. But seeing like the way that everybody in DB just kind of supports each other, they're there to listen, they'll give you advice. I mean, I've seen people that have traveled, I've spoken to some of the EU teams, they will literally travel from other countries just to be there for each other when they're having a hard time, or because they love each other. They want to be there to be part of their lives. And I love the fact that this is catching on, that spaces for those who are, born women, those who are in their hearts are women and are living those lives, they're given the chance to be treated correctly and with love and just acceptance. It's hard to know that that's the reality, but I'm glad people are making progress towards that.
I feel like that's a thing that guys don't understand, because I've had guys ask me, like, I told them I'm in like all girl Overwatch thing, and they're like, why? This is like, because I've played with them too, and they're like, what's the point of an all girl thing? And I'm like, it's hard to explain to them because they don't really get it.
Yeah.
I think the thing that men and even those who maybe are non-binary and don't identify as female, when they hear all female, it sounds like it's it's like a put off to them. But it's not about that. It's about the fact that not every guy is terrible or mean or hateful, but there are those that are. And you remember the things that hurt you a lot more vividly, most often than not, than those that bring you up. And I wish that that wasn't the way that people were, because I know myself, I do it. I can have, these wonderful people that I'll meet in a competitive game, and they'll be supportive and communicative, and they're thankful that they had me as a teammate. But then there are others where I'll join a game and they're like, oh my gosh, there's a girl, we're losing. Yeah. The girl's on tank, she's on damage. It's like, look, it's not about that. But you're the person that's making me feel like I can't play this game without being judged.
Yeah, that's when you hear like, go back to the kitchen. The one I've never heard anyone actually say that, but like sometimes it kind of sounds like that.
Oh,
it's basically the same thing.
I've definitely had that told me to myself.
Oh, really? Like those specific words?
Yes, because I play with a group of people that identify in multiple different ways pretty often, that I actually met through PUGs. And, even just me being like, look, lay off, this person, they're trying, dude, like no need to be toxic. And it's like, oh, you go back in the kitchen, nobody needs you here, you're probably doing this or that to get carried, you're boosted. And I'm like, really?
Oh my God.
Just because I'm not gonna like let you verbally abuse that person? No, that's not the way to handle it.
Yeah. My other favorite is, oh, why are you protecting them? Do you want something? Or like, oh, you white knight. I'm like, I'm just doing it because you're being a dick. Like, I don't like hearing people being assholes.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah,
I'm not doing it for clout or for a gain. I just want you to shut up because you're being a dick.
Someone like giving shit to a girl and someone defends her, people are like, oh, well, you want to get in her pants or like something like that.
Yeah.
It's like what the fuck? Like, is that the only reason a guy like should be nice to a girl? Like, what the fuck does that even mean?
Apparently.
Yeah, apparently we women are not worthy of decent, common respect and decency,
right.
Unless we're doing something sexual, apparently, or providing food. I'll tell you right now, guys, I can
Making
cook
sandwiches.
I can cook like 10 meals, bomb, like for real, they're good. But some other stuff, my husband cooks it way better. But trust me, that doesn't make him a woman. That makes him good at cooking. Weird concept.
It's like how I tell people, I told someone at work the other day, I was like, I do a lot of cooking at home, but if you want good baked goods, you ask my fiance for that.
I mean, like,
I'm not a baker.
I feel like all like the big known chefs are like men, like Gordon Ramsay and stuff. So it's like, what does that even mean? It's like,
It's just one of those perpetuated stereotypes. Just like many others, some of them are worse than others. I won't even get into those types, but just the fact that, people, I don't know if they've told themselves, oh, well, somebody else said this, so it's fine, it must be true. Or if they just really like being a jerk. I'll tell you, I've met some people that really just weren't hugged enough as a child. Like, I don't know what's going on, but like, I don't see the problem with it. With a woman enjoying a video game and wanting a space where they feel comfortable. Well, why is that wrong?
Yeah, like, I mean, like you said, it's not necessarily just for like the toxicity thing. It's not the same mentality. So if I'm playing with just girls, like, we're gonna talk about a lot of different things than guys would talk about while they're playing. Like, I don't know. It's just not the same environment.
Absolutely. By no means personally do I feel like women should be completely isolated from men or non-binary, gamers or people, because, like Lynnda said, she has a wonderful fiance. She loves him. He respects and loves her. I have a wonderful husband. And I know, even, Demi and Amna have significant others that they really love and that they've been treated well. Many of our DB girls do as well. It's not about wanting to cut men off or try to make ourselves, to be elevated to a point that is exaggerated. It's just the fact that we have had to deal with things that people don't see as a problem when they are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But yes, I think DB has a wonderful mission. I am just so glad to see that when new people join, they feel the love and they're excited and they're ready to make friends. So I think it's great.
My life's mission anytime I go into comp or even quick play and I'm like, there's another woman here. I need to tell them about DB right now. I think there have been at least like 4 other girls that have joined because I was like, you need to look at it.
Yeah,
look at the thing that I love so much, please. I have a friend who is building a PC right now just so she can play this game.
Oh, really?
She's moving across a couple states soon. And I'm like, we need a game that we can play together. She's like, well, I want to start playing Overwatch. I'm going to go build a computer
She's never
now.
played it before?
She's played a lot of other competitive games, like mostly COD.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's a COD girl.
Okay.
COD and Destiny and a lot of MOBAs, actually. She was really into Smite. I love you, Mandy. But yeah, just like anytime I run into another woman in this game, I'm like, even if you don't join, I want you to know that spaces like this exist.
Yeah.
Because hopefully it can be a really good resource for you. And I know so many people that have made amazing friends in this group, like myself included.
Yeah, because there's people I know that played for a bit and then they're like, I stopped playing because I had no one to play with. So it's always good to know that there's communities that you can join and play with.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I've definitely thought many times, Overwatch isn't really doing it for me. I get into a game and I'm yelled at, or people are toxic and tilting constantly. But it's nice to be able to have like the ability to just be like, hey, anybody else want to play? And we can chill and do silly strats. I mean, Jodam is my ride or die. Our Symmetra Bastion strat will live forever. I'm still upset she used it against me. I love you, Jodam, but you did that, and you knew it. Yeah, but like Nami said, just having that ability to kind of reach out and have people that will not, show that toxic behavior towards you. That's a big resource.
Well, and I think part of that too is knowing when to balance the desire to play either super competitively or just say, hey, I want to play, but I kind of just want to goof around. Like, I've been doing that a lot more when I have been playing, is just playing quick play and roles I never touch. I'm super bad at DPS, but am I going to have fun? Yeah, I'll have fun.
I mean, if you're grouping up with people, like, they're going to let you play, like, other things. Like, okay, I want to try Wrecking Ball today. And they're like, okay, go for it. Like, instead of, like, playing with a bunch of strangers and they just yell at you because you don't know what you're doing. So
yeah, for sure.
Exactly. So, speaking of bringing all these lovely people together, Stardust, could you tell us about PUGs? What are PUGs? Are they cute dogs? Can I pet one? Can I have one?
So, Lynnda, I will absolutely support your decision to get a pug as long as you bring him to visit me and Baby Yoda. That's all I ask of you. But PUGs kind of started out as an idea within DB with Demi and Amna and some of the other officers that you'll see there, Tripid, Subline, Jodam, Genos, and it was just kind of a discussion of something that they had wanted to do. So they reached out. They posted a form and an announcement. And they were like, hey, we're looking for some volunteers. We have some ideas of things that we want to do. But of course, these women do so much already within their roles as it is. They can't do it all. And so I had signed up and I had mentioned that I would be interested in running PUGs. I had never done it. I'll just be honest with you right there. It was a very big learning curve. And I think that started about anywhere from 12 to 18 months ago when I received the role. And it started out as just really honestly me and my husband, and I think maybe 2 other people. I know Reek and Diva is one of the early PUG players, as well as Evil Monkey. And then as we opened it up to DBF, that kind of helped to bring some new people that were either waiting to join DB or that were not able to join DB. And that it just gave them a chance to make friends. And that has always been my personal feeling on what pugs should be. It's an opportunity for you to play in a low stress environment. It gives you the chance to laugh at yourself. If you want to play Wrecking Ball, Nami, you play Wrecking Ball. I don't care if you die 4 times before you get to the first point. You play that hero and you have fun.
4 times. You're being generous.
But yeah, that's just what I've always really tried to foster. I will admit I can be a little bit mother hen. So if there's somebody that joins and they tell me, I really don't want to use voice comms, I am always, ready to tell them that's fine. Because if you're having fun, whether you're talking or you're not, then that's great. That's all I really want of the people that are participating. So it went from that, maybe 3 or 4 people, to at the peak, we had 2 lobbies running because we had over 32 attendees.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah. So pugs have been my baby. I've met some amazing people from doing this. It brought me a lot of happiness to be able to see these friendships that started as just 2 people joking around on a team to, for example, 2 of them are actually talking about meeting up later this year. One of them lives in Colorado. The other one lives in South Carolina. Like, this isn't just
so precious.
Yeah, they're not like driving an hour away to go have lunch. They are literally planning a vacation to hang out because of their pug time together. And that's, just my kind of philosophy on it. It is a PMA environment, as I tell them, positive mental attitude. If you lose, it sucks. I get it, but you tried your best. And I want people to feel like they can fail and not feel punished for it, quote unquote fail by not achieving the objective.
I'm gonna be honest, I've never been to like one of those pugs. So like how does it work exactly?
So what I do is I will set up a custom game, and then there's a DBF voice channel called Pug Life. We actually have 2 of them now, since we also do competitive, which means that we allow people to have their own voice comms so they can strategize together. But for the most part, the first few games we play, we are all in the same voice channel, and it is just chaos. It's
okay.
It's Kitus screaming, oh my gosh, I'm asleep. And somebody else saying, good, get Kitus. And everybody laughing as he's literally just panicking in this high squeal that he's going to die. And I try to balance, pretty quickly in a not very scientific method way. I will put, people within similar SR across from each other in my pug lobby, and I just move down. Once it's full, everybody's fairly balanced. Everybody else either spectates. I tell them, go get a drink, get a snack, bring me an ice cream cone, whatever you want to do. And we just play a few rounds. We do quick play classic, no limits. I had a game once where there was 4 Reapers and 2 Symmetras.
Oh my God.
Disgusting.
Yeah. We'll play competitive rules. We try to just mix it up, whatever sounds fun.
So like capture the flag.
I love capture the flag.
I actually
people
do.
Hate it.
Everyone hates it.
I love capture the flag.
That
People
is like
are haters.
The only time I've ever been diamond is capture the flag.
I think it
so
sucks because it's almost never there. And sometimes it's there and it's just Ayutthaya only or whatever it's called. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, why can't it be like a permanent thing?
Yeah, I think it's a really fun mode. I know a lot of people like Lucio Ball. I don't have any strong feelings about it. I'm just not great at it, which is probably why.
I don't like Lucio Ball.
I'm not a slippery tree frog. I'm not a Resby. It's not going to work for me. But yeah, that's pretty much Pugs in a nutshell. Right now they're running 2 days a week. I will be hosting on Wednesdays from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern time. And then Amna does signups on Saturdays. You have to respond by 8 p.m. And as long as she gets her 10 responses, she runs it every Saturday from 9 to 11 as well.
Y'all are superheroes. I could not do this. I can barely get out of bed some days. I'm like, I don't wanna.
Well, when you think about it though, Lynnda, it's kind of like if Eris were just finding 2 hours a week to just like sit there and do whatever we felt like. Like if Jodem decided she was going to be a Reinhardt main and she was just going to play Reinhardt for 2 hours. That's basically what it is.
The dream right there.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd whip out my Sim. You'd whip out your Bastion. Like, we'd all just rotate. So, like, me and you, we'd go over to DPS. All the tanks would go to... All the DPS would go to tank. And all the tanks would go to healers.
Exactly. It's
just imagine Demi screaming, "Come back here, I need to pee on you."
Oh my God.
I gotta say, I can't imagine Demi saying that. But now I'm going to have to ask her to try that out.
Yay! Meat Shield on my team says that all the time.
Yeah.
Come back, I need to pee on you.
Or like...
Peel for piss.
It's like, I'm out of piss and like, you know.
I'm all out of pee. Moira's the greatest hero ever, and poo-poo on anybody that doesn't like her. Even
I will fight you, Lynnda.
It reminds me, I saw a meme like on Twitter the other day that was like, name something that you can say in Overwatch that you could also say during sex, and someone wrote, "Let me pee on you."
Yes, I saw something like that. It was like, pee on me. I'm like, oh
yeah.
I literally tagged Lynnda in that because she is our Moira that always screams, "Let me pee on you." I'm like,
let me pee on you. I'm out of pee. That and I need to slurp. Hold on. Slurp?
Oh my God.
Get my juice back. I know people, especially like high tier players, are so mad about her being in the meta, but like honestly, and we can go into this later more if we want to talk about patches and stuff, but like literally no one complained about her until she became meta, and I'm very resentful of this.
From Moira, honestly, the most that I hear about is from Samito, and it's because of the skill orb, always finding him.
It's not.
Have you seen
just
some of those
clips? Just don't go
clips?
in a small space with the orb. No, it's not hard.
Okay, so real talk, Lynnda, there was one. It was on Dorado, right after the first point where there's the high ground and the bridge, and they were playing Doomfist, and they went from the other side of the building to the side where the payload was with their team, and the orb just happened to come across for like the last bounce, and they were 3 health, and so they died.
Oh my God, that's amazing! I love it! Yes! Yes! All hail the orb!
Yes!
The other nicknames for it, like Nail Jail, I'm like, excuse me, if I could go through my life with her nails, I would love it.
What? Yeah, some like higher level support players that play other heroes that are less viable now, and so they get stuck as main healer playing Moira, quote unquote stuck. They call it Nail Jail
because you know Jeff Blizzard Kaplan is holding a gun to your head, telling you to play this character. If you don't play the orb lady, you die.
You're throwing.
I thought she was always, like, I guess I don't watch enough, like, Overwatch League or anything, but I thought she was always in a good spot. I mean,
she's definitely very punishable, in my opinion. Same with, like, Baptiste. Baptiste can be very strong. I've taken a very big interest in Baptiste, especially lately. I will forever be a Mercy main, like
I'm
real
the worst
talk.
Baptiste player. Like,
but yeah, like Baptiste can be very versatile and he's very strong. But if he is punished, it hurts the team a lot.
It hurts the team a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing is like, it's not hard to exploit a Moira who doesn't know their shit. It's really not. Like, once she has no fade, she's basically a goner.
Yeah, but they just recently nerfed her self-heal, like when she sucks.
When she slurps.
Yeah, because but I thought personally that it was always like super OP because like whenever I heal I play Moira, and like sometimes you could just 1v1 people just by like throwing an orb to heal yourself and sucking them, basically. Mm-hmm. And like they just recently nerfed like her self-heal. I'm like, how did it take them like that long? Like she's been out for what, like 2 years? Like I guess it's because she's finally in the meta, and that's why they realized that she's OP. And I'm like, I could have told you that 2 years ago. Like, you know.
Well, that's the thing that confused me is like it wasn't an issue until she became meta, and I'm fine with her being tweaked and all. It was just like really, it was like sudden, like, oh my god, this character's so OP and stupid. I'm like, have you like literally never played as her? Like ever? Yeah. She's barely been touched since her release.
It definitely seems like once something becomes, the meta, then there's adjustments made. Mm-hmm. But I know for like Double Shield, it feels like this adjustment took a long time.
Yeah.
What? Like the shield health?
Yeah, how they're releasing on Tuesday about the
I'm
reduction.
not happy.
Well, you're
Nami sad.
I'm not very happy.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm a Ryan main, so I'm not happy. But like, because I noticed that during BlizzCon, I don't know if I mentioned it in oh yeah, it couldn't have been because it was before, but like I was talking about it with my team, and I noticed that when they showed like Overwatch 2, I watched like footage of like the PvE mission or whatever, and Reinhardt only had like 1600 health on his shield, and I'm like, oh, that's probably just like a PvE thing, but I guess it's just that they were implementing it in Overwatch 2. So like I saw that in the footage at BlizzCon, and I was like, oh, okay. But then like they announced they were gonna do it on live also on regular Overwatch, and I'm like, no. But it's not as bad for Reinhardt because it's only like a 20% nerf to like, is that 20%? Yeah. I'm not failing at math. Okay. But like for Sigma, his shield is going, I think, from, what was it at?
I think it's like 1800, isn't it? To like 9?
I think it was 1500 and it's going to 900, so it's like a 40% nerf or something, and it's like,
yikes.
Because 900, that's gonna go down really fast.
Mm-hmm.
And
and they also, this was a while ago, they added that like 1.5 second cooldown or whatever on his shield, which was definitely needed.
Technically, it's kind of the same because like I think there was like a half a second. When you canceled it, you could like just throw it again right away, but when you try to throw it, there was like a half a second before it would come out, if that makes sense. So like it had to charge kind of, I guess, but like then they removed the charge time, so when you press the button it just automatically comes out, but they also added a 1 second cooldown before you can cast it again after you cancel it.
That's what it was. You can tell I don't play him at all.
I've been playing a lot of Sigma, so yeah.
I can't with the feet. It's the
Lynnda.
feet. They get me every time.
I'm actually okay with that 1 second cooldown because like you can like deploy it faster if it's not on cooldown. So, but I'm not sure how I feel about the 900 health on. Like they might tweak it after. Like they're just like, oh my god, my cat.
Aw, baby.
So yeah, they just usually. The way it works when they do changes like that is that they do like big changes so they can test it better, and then if it's too much, they just adjust it instead of doing like small changes at a time. They'd rather do like a big change and then like adjust from there.
I can understand that logic, but also when you do that, it's like, whoa, this seems like overkill.
Yeah, that's the thing. I thought they would have done like 20% on everyone, but like they just like 40% on Sigma, and it's like, ouch.
I feel the worst for Ryan, though. I'm sorry for your boy.
Yes. Good Reinhardts are so important to kind of like protect. Don't take them away from us.
Please, I need my big shield grandpa.
Yes.
I can still make 1600 health work on my shield because usually I would like, I never let my shield break if I can help it. I'll just have to like, I can usually kind of tell that the only thing that's going to be annoying is that like when you're used to playing like Reinhardt or any other like shield tank is that you kind of get a feel as to when your shield is getting low without looking at the health because you kind of know how long it takes for it to go down. But now I'm going to have to like, I feel like I'm going to, for a while it's just going to break and I'm going to be like, oh shit, like I didn't realize it was that low because I'm not used to it having 400 less health.
Yeah. It'll be an adjustment, especially because I feel like when this patch goes live, finally, there are going to be a lot of people coming back. At least is my hope. I mean, it's so weird how I feel like...
I didn't know it was a problem. Like, people really mad about shooting shields, and it took like 3.5 years for people to be like, oh, okay, like we're finally nerfing shields because people hate shields. And it's like,
yeah, there was one video I saw on Twitter of somebody complaining that Baptiste does too much damage, and it was a side-by-side of Bap and Soldier shooting at Ryan's shield, and they're just unloading bullets into it. And somebody in the comments was like, well, you didn't use your Helix rockets on Soldier. That would have helped you a lot.
mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. I mean, should Baptiste do that much damage? I don't know. I don't balance this game.
Does he do
I
that
don't get
much
played
damage?
to fix
I didn't
it.
notice that he did that much damage.
So Baptiste actually has some of the highest damage in the game
Really?
and highest damage of every support. Yeah. He is pretty lethal if you can find the opportunities to really capitalize on that.
But he has that weird... I haven't played him that much, but like I don't really like his burst.
His
weapon.
recoil, they're actually changing that, yeah, because there's a little bit of spread right now. It kind of, when you aim, it shoots up. So if you start on, aiming at somebody's head, for example, then following 2 shots will move slightly above their head. So you want to start like more towards their chest or shoulders, and then it would headshot on the 3rd shot. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's very interesting the way that they kind of set him up.
A weird weapon. It's like it shoots in bursts, and I'm like, this is weird. I don't like this.
Yeah, I can get that.
Because I'm used to more like when I DPS, I usually play McCree or Hanzo.
Oh, okay.
You play McCree or Hanzo? I'm shocked.
I wonder why.
I wonder why.
I mean, I play Reaper and Soldier also, but yeah.
You play all the characters that give me trouble. Oops, I just dropped my phone.
Oh, really?
Sorry. Oh, yes. That's always, the last few days, every game I've gone into, I'm like, oh, I'm dead. Where was that Hanzo? And then I look and he's like jumping around on the top, like far back. And then he crouches and he jumps up and he headshots me. I'm like, really, dude? Like, you need to give me a chance.
Skill arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine Hanzo arrow plus orb.
No, I'm
just
good.
Bounces around the room.
I mean, that was essentially
scatter arrow.
Yep, there it is.
I just died a little inside.
I mean, to you, it's arrows and orbs, and for me, it's like Junkrat traps.
Yeah,
Single
the
one
beautiful
of them.
Junkrat traps. How can I
I'm
ever
the
forget?
worst. I can't like I don't see them. I don't know if it's just I don't look at the ground. Like I can see, like I can spot anything in the air, but like in front of my feet, the trap that's right there, I'm not gonna see it. I'm just gonna walk right into it. Like I don't know why. I'm just bad.
Junkrat is a hero. I definitely walked in at least 1 million of his traps and been like, oh, okay, well, I'm dead. Bye, guys.
Happy birthday. Bring.
Oh my god.
The worst. But we love him.
Yeah.
Well, if you ladies would like, I kind of wanted to just catch up on some of the BlizzCon stuff just because we haven't had a chance to talk about it.
Yeah.
The big one, I guess, Overwatch 2. How we feeling on that? Are we hot? Are we cold? Are we lukewarm?
I'm a little lukewarm. I'll be honest with you. That's just because for me, I'm definitely a PvE kind of person, but I'd like to see how things like skill trees and stuff kind of come into play. I'm not sure. It's not entirely clear to me.
See the BlizzCon stuff?
I did, but the way that it was presented is it kind of looks like you have multiple choices once you reach a level. That was what I wasn't clear on.
Yeah, I think you can change them later. It's kind of I don't remember, but it's kind of like talent trees in WoW, kind of.
Yeah, and that's something that's changed quite a bit, at least for me with World of Warcraft. Is it used to be very complicated. You could be a hybrid of different types, whereas now it's simplified.
I think it's gonna be like the new ones, like that have been there since Pandaria. Like, did you have like 2 or 3 choices per level or something, or per tier?
Yeah, so it's definitely going to be interesting to me. I think that's the thing that I'm most interested to find out more about. How can you kind of mix and match, and what will be the greatest payoff? And will it lock you into a certain type of play style by making the quote unquote superior choice. You know what I mean?
I feel like you'll be able to change it because if you can't really know what it does unless you try it, I guess. So like if you don't like it, like I feel like you'll be able to change it. I could be wrong, but I don't see why they wouldn't let you change it.
I'm wondering if it's gonna turn, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's been a while since BlizzCon. I feel like it's been 20 years. Like if there's a skill tree kind of thing implemented, is that also going to translate into competitive, like you see with, you know, MOBAs like Smite or something, where you level up your character as you're playing and picking from that skill tree?
It's only for PvE. Like it's not gonna be, because like Hanzo has this thing called Sojiro's Guidance, where it's kind of like Scatter Arrow on crack. Like I think it's like you throw a Sonic Arrow and then the arrow's gonna go and like kill everyone that was detected by the Sonic Arrow. So if there was like 15 NPCs there, they're all gonna die or something.
Oh,
yeah, that's
interesting.
Yeah. That's why it's only for PvE. Can you imagine? Like in PvP, just throw a Sonic Arrow that just kills everyone.
I don't want Sonic Arrow to come back.
You mean Scatter Arrow.
I mean Scatter. Look, I can't. 3 cups of coffee. 3.
Oh my goodness.
Although at the same time, I feel like I'd like to see something like that. If you could, not Scatter Arrow, but like being able to sort of mix and match what your character can do in the game.
I think you'll be able to, but in PvE though.
But I meant like in PvP, like if you could somehow implement that. But with the length that some games go on for,
the thing is that when the thing with that, it's almost impossible to balance games when there's like choices like that.
Yeah, exactly. That's my concern. Is like it's hard to balance, and then like at least from my relationship with Smite was very short, but the thing that was nice about it was the gameplay loop was so quick that like it didn't really matter. Like, oh, I kind of like picked not a great build for this game. Well, the game went by really fast, so it's fine. Whereas in Overwatch, sometimes those games drag on forever in comparison to other competitive games.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I can totally understand that. I am definitely interested in seeing this, but I am reserving my judgment until it comes out. I'm not against it by any means. I'm just curious. I want to see what happens. I want to see how it affects, you know, the experience of actually having those extra kind of a boosts and abilities to take onto the PvE field.
Maybe I'm weird, but I don't even care that much about those things. Like all I want is I want to see the story, so I just want to do like the story missions, and that's all I care about.
That's the thing I'm most looking forward to, is like we're finally gonna get more story that isn't just in like a cutscene in front of a little PvE.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys watched
event.
Like there was like one mission that was available at BlizzCon, and like I watched it on YouTube. It's like where they meet Lucio in where is it, Rio?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, there's like a cutscene at the beginning, and there's like the mission, there's another cutscene at the end, and I think that's pretty cool. I want more cutscenes.
Give me more lore.
I want like a mission where it's like, you know, like how McCree said that like he had business to attend to, and then like there's like a cutscene, and then he goes to find Hanzo.
Yeah.
Is, you know, that's gonna happen.
It would just be so nice, because from what, and I've mentioned this on the podcast before, but I don't know if you know, Stardust, Overwatch is really the only like Blizzard game I've really put a lot of time into. But everything I know about Blizzard, at least from the Warcraft and World of Warcraft standpoint, is they can write really amazing stories.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, where is that for Overwatch? I don't understand.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's why I don't really expect like this amazing lore, because they've teased it so many times, but nothing's ever come of it. So I'm afraid of being like, oh my gosh, I'll get my Mercy lore, my Brig lore, my Diva lore, you know, more than just these backstories that they presented, like something that really brings them all together as the Overwatch, you know, group, and it leaving something to be desired.
I think what happened is that they didn't expect people to get that attached to the characters. It's like there's a lot of games like, say, I don't know, League of Legends, where they give like some kind of like a backstory for the characters, but like it's never really, correct me if I'm wrong because I'm not like an expert in like, I don't know if you guys play League of Legends, but I don't think there's like a story mode or like, I don't know, I don't think the characters are that fleshed out. And I feel like they just wanted, when they announced the game and they released the first few shorts like Dragons and like Recall and the one with Tracer and Widow, it was kind of like just to give some kind of background on the characters, but I don't think they were planning on really doing that big story with them. I could be wrong. And then like people got really into the characters and they were like, oh shit, like now people actually want a big detailed story, and except that they didn't make the game in a way where they could really implement story mode. That's why they had to make like Overwatch 2, because they didn't really work. So they kind of tried with like the archive event, like Retribution and all that, but it didn't really work the way they wanted. So that's why they're like doing it this way now, if that makes sense.
I can see that. I'm just kind of surprised at the idea that none of them would, and maybe this is just me talking out my ass, but like, we're gonna make this game with all these really cool, interesting character designs that people might care about, but whatever, what's lore? Oh, no. And then, the response to the game was just so huge.
Yeah, like I said, like, there's a lot of games like that, though, where they don't expect people to care that much about the characters. They just want them to look cool or whatever. So, you know, like how in like, I don't know why I keep like bringing up League of Legends, but like they have like a bunch of skins for characters with like different stories behind them. They kind of do the same within Heroes of the Storm also, but like they don't necessarily expect people to want like an actual story, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I definitely think the thing that made me realize how excited people were after they started doing the little like YouTube releases that they would do of the character stories.
Yeah, the shorts.
Yeah, like the first one or two, people are like, okay, cool. You know, they look pretty, but I'm not totally invested. And then you get things like the May one, and there are people talking about how it made them cry, and Reinhardt, and, you know, stuff like that. And it's like,
my favorite one is still the Dragons one, but that's
Dragons is so good.
I mean, it was beautiful, and it was just, it had a lot of just story, not only about them, but about why, you know, they would have the two dragons. Why do the Shamadas have those dragons as their ultimates, as an ability? It touched on more than just Hanzo and Genji on the front. It was their relationship.
Yeah.
Why did Genji
I want to know the drama.
I think there's like
the drama, the theater of it all.
I think there's like Recall was the first one, and there was, I think it's called Alive, the one with Widow and Tracer.
Yeah.
And then there's the Dragons. I think those are the only 3 that were released before the game came out. I think
that sounds right.
Yeah.
And I don't know like if they were planning on just doing like one for each character. Just to explain, because people were like, oh, why does Widow have like blue skin and like stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because it's sexy.
I mean, there are many people that would agree with you there, Lynnda.
Because she's cold-hearted, so she's blue.
But I agree with you, Nami. I think it's one of those things where it started out as hype, you know, to get you curious about it, to get you to want to play. And now people are like, where's my Zenyatta lore? You know, where's my
like they
so and
just
so
wanted
short
to give a bit more. Yeah, it was kind of like just those shorts were just to kind of like hype up like the game or whatever. But then they just kept like doing them, and now people want actual story because they already gave us so much of it. And then they started, there was those comics also, but I think the comics only came out after the game came out, right? I'm not 100% sure. And then they started with those short stories last year. I think it was Bastet, I think, the first one.
I believe so, yeah, Anna.
Yeah, I didn't read the other 2 yet. But yeah, like, I guess they just tried a bunch of different ways, because I think they didn't know if they would be able to give a story in the game. So that's why, like, at first there were the shorts, and they were like, oh, we'll give them comics, and then they started with the stories, but like people were still not like satisfied with how much story we were getting, so they're like, well, shit, we'll have to like do it. I mean, they must have been working on it for a while, because you don't have that much to show at like BlizzCon if you've been working on it only for a few months. But like, you know, I feel like they were trying to decide if they needed to make it like a separate game, or if it would be just like they would add. I guess that's why they tried to do like Retribution and all that, and they realized it didn't really work the way they wanted, because it was too limited. Yeah, so
yeah, and it's, you know, once you've played it once or twice, you know everything that's going to happen. You know how it, you know, ended up the way that you got where you are at the end. Yeah, you know, you got your loot box, you got your event skin, whatever it is. But kind of like what Lynnda was saying, like things with World of Warcraft, they've been able to sprinkle that in as you make progress through quest lines or through zones. But with Overwatch being so PvP centered, the only way for them to present that is by doing it as an extra entity.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I mean, Heroes of the Storm doesn't really have, you know, they don't have story cutscenes. They are not explaining why those characters are there, or who Thrall was.
You have to play the other games that they come from if you want to know who they are.
I feel like Heroes of the Storm is like the Blizzard version of Smash.
Pretty much.
Let's just put all the things that we've made and throw them in there and see what happens. Which is fine.
Pretty much, yeah.
I love that.
I love that description.
Or like the Shonen Jump like fighting game, whatever that's called. J All Stars or whatever.
Yeah, I know what you mean. There's like One
Piece
and like Dragon Ball. Yeah.
That much I know. It's got Luffy in it.
But yeah, I think it's a very, it's an interesting concept. I know I've said interesting like 400 times, but that's the way that it sits in my mind.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, it makes me think about it. It's not something that I'm sitting here like, oh my gosh, let me count down the days. But I want to know what makes it Overwatch, while also providing all of that backstory and more about the characters outside of that. I know how to hit shift on Mercy and fly to someone. Like, why is she... well, I mean, a healer is obvious, but why does she have the look that she does? How did she find Overwatch? You know, I'm hoping to learn those kind of things more than just, you know, a comic book or a 10-minute short. I want to be able to play through it and see how it affects things.
I think the story in Overwatch 2, though, is like the story going forward. Like, I don't know like how much of it is going to be flashbacks, though, because I think they said that all the shorts have been like in the past, and the stories have been in the past, and like the Retribution and all that. I don't know why I keep saying Retribution instead of archives, but yeah, that's been in the past. And like they said, like Overwatch 2 is really gonna be like the story moving forward. I mean, like,
yeah, it's like post recall, like immediately post recall, and the name of the May one that I'm forgetting the name of for some reason, because like that's all. Like you were saying, Nami, that's all before, and like Recall and Maester, like the beginning of what Overwatch 2 is going to be. Because like that whole video from BlizzCon was like, oh hey guys, this is our new person, May. Look how fucking cute she is.
She's evil.
She's so fucking cute, but so fucking evil.
Yeah, that's the thing people were saying, like, oh my god, she's so cute, but like in game, she's the devil, basically.
But she's our devil, and we love her.
I agree with this.
I think it's like the one character where I have like a love-hate relationship with, because like in game I just hate her so much, but outside the game she's like, oh my god, like she's so cute, and like how does that work?
You know what? It just does, and I think that's the beauty of the duality of May.
Absolutely.
Because there's one thing also I want to say about Overwatch 2 is that I'm so tired of like people saying that, oh, it should be free because I don't want to pay like $50 or whatever for a glorified expansion pack. And I'm like, how is it an expansion pack? Like, I feel like people don't even know what that word means anymore. An expansion pack is like, you need the base game to be able to play it. Like, you literally can't play it if you don't have the base game, and then you just get the expansion pack and it adds onto the base game. But that's Overwatch 2 is like a separate game, so I don't know why people are saying that it's an expansion pack when it's not. And it's I've like argued with people on Twitter about it, and I'm like, why are people so stupid? Like, I'm just so done with that.
The Overwatch community is tumultuous at best.
And I feel like people are like so entitled. It's like, I should get this game for free. It's like, why?
Yeah, people
devs
still
have
had to
worked
work
on that.
this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you don't just get oh my god, like, why are people so dumb? Whatever. Like, just don't get me started on like it's like people don't know how like the game industry works at all. So yeah.
But you just sit at computer and press keys, clickety clack, so easy.
Right?
When
yeah, that's totally how it works.
I mean, like, we all saw this recently with the shit in Pokemon, like, and I was even talking about it with some friends earlier today, like, oh, like, well, why couldn't they have just done that thing for Pokemon? I'm like, okay, like, one, that would take a shit ton of time. Like, I don't care that you sat there and made a mod to add a Pokemon into Sword and Shield.
Right.
Like, that's you doing that in your own free time. Imagine being a game developer, animator, what have you, and having to do that for, like, almost 1,000 Pokemon. That's insane.
Or, like,
literally insane.
Sometimes people are not happy with, like, a 3D model of something, and you just, like, Photoshop it, and, like, look, it's so easy. I just Photoshopped it in 5 minutes, and then, like, you know, like, that's not how it works. Like,
that's not how animation
I went
works
to
at
school,
all.
like, in, like, 3D animation, and that's not how it works. You can't just Photoshop something and think that it's the same as, like, fixing it on the 3D model. Like,
oh, did you see the one going around, which, to be fair, I liked the way they looked, but somebody did this with Anna and Elsa recently in Frozen 2, and they're like, see, look, I fixed them. Like,
I saw that. Yeah.
It looks nice. I definitely, like, am not a fan of how they look regularly because they look just like Rapunzel and it's kind of boring, but, like, that's not how you fix an animated film.
Well, yeah, and that's, like, I mean, that's just the style they went for. Like, it's not like they don't know what a human is supposed to look like. That's just, like, what's it called? Artistic
Aesthetics.
Choice, kind of. Yeah.
It's the aesthetic.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, like, I feel like the regular look looks fine until you look at their edit. And it's like, okay, like, I guess you have a point where it could look better, but I mean, it's I don't watch the movie and think, oh my god, this is so ugly. Like, it looks fine until you compare it to the other one. It's just a different style. Like, it's not wrong in the first place, if that makes sense.
Yeah. The Pokemon one really made me sad because it's like, yes, on the one hand, like, I'm sure that there are people at Game Freak who are like, we want to spend more time on this Nintendo company, please. And Nintendo won't let them because, you know, they have their release windows and they always have to get a new Pokemon game out this time of year, every X number of years, which sucks. I can't even begin to speak on.
What were people complaining about exactly?
Oh, just like some of the animations being reused and kind of wonky, and there were people claiming that employees from Game Freak were told by Nintendo that they had to get the game done in this timeline because Pokemon always releases in, like, November every, like, couple of years, which, like, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case because
it's because, like, some
treat their people like garbage,
have the same animation, like different Pokemon with the same, like, animation.
Yeah, or like
that's normal.
It's yeah, and then there's the whole, like, Dexit thing, which I'm not a fan of it being called that because Brexit is a really serious issue.
Yeah. Wait.
But, like, I
missed all of that. I guess I didn't really, like...
It's fine. I mean, I'm honestly really happy with the new Pokemon, but that's because I'll always play Pokemon because I have been since I haven't played it yet, so... But they didn't include every single Pokemon from every single game in the new one. There's, like, almost 1,000 or something, and they only have 400.
Oh, is that why people are complaining?
Yeah. Which, on the one hand, I understand that really sucks that your favorite's
Do they
not
realize
in there,
how much work that is? Like, they have
I'm gonna be honest, I'm upset that my favorite Pokemon aren't in it. Like, I have 6 favorite Pokemon, none of them made it.
That does suck. No,
it's
I
not
agree
like,
with you.
you know, just
ass.
my one Pokemon. Nope. Every single Pokemon that I've always had as, like, a main core team, none of them made it.
No Bulbasaur.
No Squirtle, dude. I literally have a Squirtle stride.
No Torterra. The only starters that are in it are the 3 starters and Charizard.
That's
it's like
fair. But I mean, Charizard I feel like is always there.
Charizard's always there.
Yeah,
Pikachu's always there because that's what sells to kids.
And Jigglypuff.
Yeah, and apparently Charizard is like the most sought after merchandise other than like Pikachu.
Really?
Like there's one Charizard card. It's a perfect 10 and it sold for like $50,000.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there was like this guy, like I watch a lot of random TV shows, and I was watching one of the, like pawn shop type shows, and there was a guy who went in, he had like 150 Charizard cards from different releases of decks, things like that, different grades. They were like legally graded for this, and he went in asking for like $1 million or something, 500,000, and they were like, nah dude, like we're never going to be able to sell this. And he later sold it on eBay for $1.5 million.
Holy shit.
God. Wow.
Just from collecting Charizard Pokemon cards. They're literally only Charizards. And
jeez.
When I've heard about this, because my roommate's a big kind of like nerd about this kind of stuff, he knows all kinds of random information. He's like, yeah, Charizard is the Pokemon that since the very first Pokemon game has brought in the really like heavy hitting collectors who are willing to spend money. Like,
what,
not
is the card
$5,
really
$10.
strong or something? Or?
No, it's just that it was one of the few cards that had the ability of being graded an absolute perfect card, meaning it's like a shiny foil. It has no creases. It has limited like printing on it. So Charizard has always been in anything that they release because it draws the fans, the older fans especially.
Yeah.
Oh and let's face it, those of us in our 30s, like Lynnda's saying, have been playing them since they first came out. So we're excited to play the Pokemon game.
I mean, Charizard's not my favorite Kanto starter, but you bet your ass that I have a fucking Charizard. Mostly because the game gives you one, but even if the game didn't give me one, I'd go out and hunt that sucker down.
It reminds me like in Pokemon X, I didn't take the starter that I wanted because I wanted Charizard because I wanted the fire starter, but I'm like, I can't take the fire starter because I want Charizard also. So like, I'm like, I can't have 2 fire Pokemon, so I ended up like taking the grass starter and it was garbage.
What was the grass starter and why again? Chespin? Chespin.
It was so bad. I put him in the
for
box.
Life.
It was so
Fennekin
bad.
for life.
I wanted Fennekin, but then then I heard that like you could get one of the 3 first starters, and I'm like, I want Charizard. Because it's Charizard.
But there's definitely a lot of drama around that, like Lynnda's saying. Like, there were people protesting the game, signing petitions, saying that they wouldn't buy it without it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, personally, I'll probably end up playing it, but it's not something that I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm against Pokemon forever.
I mean, I'll
burn
play
my
it.
stash.
It's just I haven't played it yet because my boyfriend bought it, but he's in Australia right now, so I can't play it until he gets here.
If y'all have any Pokemon that you're needing, I can help you out. I can put in my decks.
Lynnda's ready.
Oh, no, I would not. My friend I was telling you about who's building that PC, she's my Pokemon sugar mama. Anything that I was having a hard time catching, I'm like, can you help me? I can't find it anywhere. And she's like, I got you. Here's like 6 eggs.
Is Meowstic in the game?
Yes.
There's a new Meowth. He's got a big beard.
Yeah, he's a Viking Meowth, and it's great. And I love him. He evolves into a Pokemon called Berserker, and he's got a big beard.
Yes.
What the...
I love him and Sirfetch'd.
Sirfetch'd is the first Pokemon I raised to level 100 was my Sirfetch'd.
I have no clue who that is. Oh, is that the new Farfetch'd?
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, I know
that. It is so good.
Oh my gosh. We're clearly big gamer girls here. Look at us.
I've never played a video game in my life. What is this slander?
Overwatch, right? Overwatch 2, Pokemon. That is life.
I mean, yeah. Earlier today, I was sitting down and recording a cast this morning. What was I doing when recording? I was playing raids and shiny hunting in Pokemon.
Heck yeah.
I caught my first shiny in the game yesterday, though. It only took me all fucking day.
I saw you post about that. That's exciting.
It's a red panda. Its stats are garbage, but I don't care.
It's adorable.
She's so cute and perfect, and I love her.
I've never had the patience to like try and catch shiny. Like sometimes I just find them randomly. I'm like, oh, okay.
The thing that I will say about this series of games that I really like is if you're new to that kind of stuff, which like honestly to me, I'm mostly new to it. Like I only ever played the Pokemon games for like collecting stuff, and even then I wouldn't always collect everything and the story, but like this game they make it way more streamlined and easier to get into competitive and shiny hunting. Plus, like, the addition of the raids is amazing. I could gush about this game all day. I'm sorry, we're here to talk about Overwatch and Blizzard, but I'm here to talk about Pokemon.
Start talking about Pokemon.
I just, November 15th, that's all I've been doing, is playing Pokemon in my spare time.
Yeah.
I go to sleep thinking about Pokemon. I have a problem.
It's okay, Lynnda. We're here for you.
Thank you. In my time of need.
But I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm sure you guys probably talked about this, but the thing I was most excited about with just like the ticket for BlizzCon was the skins and all the bonuses that they gave.
Yes, those look so good.
Yes, and then the oh my gosh, I forgot her name and I feel so bad. The Symmetra skin she got.
Tyrande?
Oh,
Tyrande, yeah. I love that. Like, I thought that was a really neat kind of twist for this year. Like, it was cool to see.
I've been playing more Genji just because of the Elemented skin.
It's awesome. Like, I hope they keep doing something like that. I know, one of my friends bought a ticket for the Sombra demon skin, and then they started adding it in for the event. And they were a little upset about it. I'm like, yeah, I get it. You paid to be able to have that skin exclusive to you. But I think it's a cool idea.
I don't really mind. Like, I mean, we still get it like a whole year in advance. So like...
yeah. It's definitely a neat little thing that they do, though, because especially for the digital tickets, because not everybody can afford to fly to California for 3 days. I sure can't.
Yeah,
but having that little
I've been
bonus,
getting the digital ticket for like 5 years or something.
Yeah, it's awesome for them to do that. So that was like, other than all the announcements, that was the thing that I was like, hell yeah, this is awesome. And I loved it.
Yeah, the only thing I was disappointed by is like there was no like goodie bag this year. Like usually I would order like I would get the ticket and get all the digital goodies, and then I also get the goodie bag, and I'd get like last year there was like an Overwatch token or whatever. I forget. There's like always a bunch of things. And I don't know. It kind of sucked that there was nothing this year. I think there was that statue, but you could only get it if you went to California, and can't do that. So
yeah, exactly. But it's definitely always exciting for BlizzCon. It was really cool to see, for the first time since Overwatch came out, that such a big announcement was made about it. I'm excited for Shadowlands for WoW. If you're going to be playing,
to ask you about the WoW
reach
stuff.
out to me because I got that pre-order and I am ready to go. My dream's gonna look fabulous.
Bought the epic version of it.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I'm so excited about that. BlizzCon, and especially just kind of seeing like Papa Jeff, as everybody's always like, oh, Papa Jeff this. I love the fact that he was like willing to laugh at himself, because he is such a just kind of like involved person on the Overwatch team and in Blizz in general with the community. And I think that also kind of adds to what what people love about Overwatch is he's not inaccessible for the most part. He goes up to people when they were streaming. He's talking to them, asking what they think about the game. He's up there, joking and talking about how much it means to him that everybody's there.
Yeah, you can tell that he really cares about like the game and the community and all that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely the person where like something's happening in a game, and like, for example, if there's a Mei and a Symmetra and a Bastion, I'm like, okay, Papa Jeff, please, you gotta stop this. But then at the same time, like, you gotta protect Papa Jeff. He's done so much.
Right.
Yeah, he's a sweet seeming guy.
Video games are good, y'all.
Oh, they are. I'm about to play some video games after we have our chat today.
Oh, snap.
I have team practice at 7, so still have like an hour and a half.
Well, I'm about to eat some food. I'm going to hang out with my puppy. If anybody wants to see some puppy pics, feel free to hit me up. I've also got videos of him chasing my cats because apparently he thinks he's big enough to take on my 14-pound cat. That's not going to happen.
You know what? It's the spirit.
Yes.
That I admire.
We admire his spirit. He's very spirited.
I mean, if that's a thing with like small dogs, they always think that they're like all strong and mighty. And no.
Yeah.
And Stardust, pray tell, where can people find these puppy pics? Twitter plug.
So I am actually in the process, ironically, as we were getting all this started and I was introducing myself, I actually just changed my Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram today.
Okay. Ooh, yeah, I'm seeing that now.
Yeah, so my Twitter is the same as my Twitch. It'll be the same as my Instagram. It is actually going to be going back to my roots of WoW. So I'll be changing it from Stardust XO, which is what it was before, to Jailyne, Jailyne TV. And that is just going to be where I sometimes stream games. I play a nice variety of different stuff. I'm currently being terrified as I play BioShock, as well as some other games. And then I will hopefully be able to have the puppy on cam a few times. And that's where I'll be posting videos and stuff too. So feel free to stop by, say hello.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Stardust, so much for joining us today. I know it was a little last minute, but I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm trying to play catch up after being sick and busy, and only going to get more sick and busy as the holidays wind up further. This is like prime everybody's dying at work time right now. It's insane.
Yeah, it's that time of year. Everybody's sick. I'm just glad you're doing better. I know you really felt bad for quite some time, and I know you're both busy. You've got your own responsibilities outside of your volunteerism with DB, so thank you for taking the time and for inviting me on. I really appreciate it.
It was so nice to have you and just chit-chat with you again.
Yes, it was wonderful. I really appreciate it.
Yay. Well, that's it for today's episode of The Grapevine. Thank you guys and gals and ladies and joims and gentlefolk for joining us all. If you want to check out what else we do, check out deathblossoms.gg. You can also check out the Death Blossoms Twitter. That's deathblossomsgg. Our Twitch channel, deathblossomsgg. And then for personal Twitters, you heard Stardust say hers. Mine is Hey Lynnda, HeyLynnda, and Nami.
And mine is Nami Heartily, Nami Heartily, Heart ILLY.
And feel free to join us for Pugs. We'll be starting this Wednesday, 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern Time. All you need is the Death Blossoms Friends server. If you need any help, feel free to reach out to any of us.
All right, ta-ta.
Bye.
Bye, guys.